I want to go over some of the key concepts, the absolute biggest and most important concepts in information structure that we're going to use in this course. Those three concepts, and I like to think of them as really as the keys to information structure, are information types, information items, and access structures. So we've talked in a previous lecture about information types, about information items. The idea of an information item is a segmented chunk of information that you want to deliver to people. So this is the first move from unstructured, or let's just vaguely call it unstructured information, to structured information, is to take the information you have and divide it into chunks, divide it into small pieces. So for example, if you were putting together a news source, you might divide all of that news into stories or into articles or into features, things that segment the information into small describable chunks. And once you've made that move from moving from just saying, well, we give you the news, to we give you a series of articles and each article has a particular structure, you've made the first big leap, you've made the first big step into structuring information. So this idea of an information item is one piece of information. And of course your information base, the place where you're holding all your information, could have hundreds of thousands of items. But it's not one big long treatise. It's hundreds of thousands of items, and each item has its unique qualities, and each item is one, you might call it one entity that moves through an information management system. So that's the idea of an information item. Now each information item in our world will be a member, will be described by an information type. So I said before that you might divide the news into a series of articles. The article is an information type. A particular article, the article on the weather in Edinburgh today, is an item. So we have the type of article, and the item, which is a titled actual piece of information, is one of many that follows all the rules of the information type. An information type is a kind, it's a variety, it's a cast, it's a mold, it's a template. It's the way you structure the information inside of an item. But each item is the actual piece of information that's delivered. I don't deliver an article in the abstract, I deliver an actual article. But that actual article has to obey the rules of all other articles. So, information item is one piece of information. An information type is an overall kind or cast or mold or template that guides how the information items work. The final thing for us to talk about is access structures. So if I have a base, let's say an information base of 10,000 items, how will I ever be able to find a particular one? Well, of course we know the answer to that. We put them in a table of contents, or we create an index of all the items, or we link from one item to another, or we create a sequence where we have item, 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 and you go from one item logically to the next. Those are structures that allow us to access the information. Thus the term access structures. We have information items. Those information items are discrete chunks of information. We have information types. The information types are the rules that each information item obeys. They're the casts or the molds that all the information has to go into. And when it goes through that information type mold, it is an item of that type. And then finally, the access structures that organize and interrelate those items so that they can be what? Why would you need to do that? Obviously, so they could be found, but also very importantly so that you can organize them and manage them, to know which items you have, to know if you're missing any, to make sure that you have exactly the information that's necessary in order to meet a particular task. So those access structures are for them, those people out there, to find the information, and are also for us, the information managers, to allow us to organize that information. And in addition, the access structures interrelate the items. So you may not actually know that you're on the right item until you look in the table of contents and you say, oh yeah, it's with all the other items of that particular ilk, so therefore I must be in the right place. Notice there's something subtle going on there. The access structure, the outline into which all of these items have been listed, is not only a way of organizing those items, it's also a part of the information that's being delivered. Part of the information that's being delivered is that this item is related in this way to these other items. In that case of the outline, it's a parent and child relationship. Information items, information types, and access structures. Make sure you really think about those and make sure you get them straight.